One of the biggest contributing factors to self-confidence and the action that we take when we feel confidence is our sense of self-esteem, the way that we view ourselves. A lot of women specifically don't have a very good sense of self-esteem. I mean, for so long in my life, I didn't have a good sense of self-esteem. It was only through the personal development practices and the self-development practices that I have done and the mindset shifts that I have made that I've been able to build a better sense of self-esteem. And what has really come out is just making it easier for myself to show up, to take risk, to take action, to put myself out there, which of course all are necessary things for achieving success, or my version of success anyway. If you did enjoy this video, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. I'm so glad that it was helpful. Let me know in the comments below, particularly which habit was the most impactful for you, or which you think is the one that you're going to implement. And of course, if you're new around here, what's up? My name's Erin. This channel is all about personal development for female entrepreneurs specifically, but ultimately I'm just here to help you become the best version of yourself so you can live an extraordinary life, because that's what I'm all about. Anyway, let me stop rambling. Let's jump in to the 5 habits that are going to help you to build a better sense of self-esteem. Habit number 1 is you have to start deconstructing everything you've ever been told about beauty and success. One of the biggest reasons why so many, and again, I'm gonna say women specifically, don't have a good sense of self-esteem is literally because since we were children, we have been told that we are not good enough. Now, the reason we've been told we're not good enough is for profit. So many companies and organizations out there profit off of women not feeling good about themselves. They advertise these unrealistic beauty standards and these unrealistic life success milestones that we should be chasing, when in reality, a lot of the things that we're being sold into aren't actually what are going to truly make us happy. And a lot of the times, they're totally unachievable as well. And so if you're someone who doesn't feel good enough because you don't feel pretty enough, got the right body type, smart enough, you don't feel like your life looks like what it should look like in order for you to be happy, you have to start deconstructing all of these thoughts and recognize that a lot of these ideas and concepts that you're chasing are just advertising. They're there to sell you a product. I absolutely love the finer things in life, if you will. I love to travel. I love to take care of myself. I love to look my best. I love fashion. Not saying that there's anything necessarily wrong with these things. However, are they going to make you happy? Are they what truly build your sense of self-confidence and self-esteem? Probably not. You know, there are a lot of people who have a lot of money, have the ideal body and ideal lifestyle, who are truly, truly dissatisfied with their life. So we know for sure that these things aren't actually the things that are going to make us happy, right? Or that are going to build our self-esteem. And so what you want to do is you want to start really, really, really trying to be present in every single moment of every single day. What are the things that truly make me happy, that truly light me up, that truly give me this sense of self-confidence and joy that I'm so deeply craving in my life? A lot of the times, it's not going to be the things that you think it might be. You know, maybe it's going out for a nice walk in nature. Maybe it's just laughing hysterically with your friends over a bottle of wine. Like, these are the things that maybe you should focus on chasing more to build a better sense of self-esteem and self-confidence, rather than always trying to go for these things that the media and our culture and our society have led you to believe are the only things that are going to make you happy. And I will say that this may require for you to build a better sense of connection with yourself. You know, you really need to understand your own intuitive nudges towards what is going to make you happy. And in order for you to be able to do that, you have to spend time by yourself listening. Spending time away from social media, spending time away from traditional media, spending time even away from other people. Like, you're not going to be able to connect with yourself and what truly lights you up unless you spend time by yourself. Don't just allow society to influence you for the rest of your life. Start questioning why you want the things that you want, how you want the things that you want, and what truly makes you happy. If you ask yourself those questions consistently, I promise you, you're going to get a very different picture than what you're currently being influenced by. The second habit that is really going to help build your sense of self-esteem is having purpose. And this can come from a range of different things, right? This could be from your career, your contributions to society or your community. This could even be from the hobbies that you have. But one thing that I talk about a lot, specifically on my Instagram, which, by the way, if you're not following me, definitely come over there and follow me, because that is one of my favorite places. No offense, YouTube. I love YouTube, but Instagram is like my favorite place to create content because, you know, it's more daily and it's more real and it's more raw, and I love reels. Anyway, that's aside. One thing I talk about a lot on YouTube, Instagram specifically, is I think one of the most potent human emotions for self-confidence, self-worth, self-esteem is the feeling of pride. Being proud of ourselves. You know, again, going back to tip one, like a lot of the times these accolades or these versions of success, A, aren't gonna fulfill us, but B, a lot of the times they are really hard to achieve. And what I think is the most potent thing that will really help with your sense of self-esteem is the feeling of being proud of yourself. Taking the best care of yourself that you can and showing up for your goals in the best way that you can possibly do. And of course, one of the biggest ways to induce a feeling of pride is working on something that you think matters. You know, I feel so incredibly proud of myself, I really do, for this community that I've built online, for the way that I'm able to help and influence women more positively, to build their confidence and live the life that they dream of. Like, that really does make me feel proud of myself every single day. And so when it comes to my sense of self-esteem, of course I have a higher sense of self-esteem because the work that I'm doing and the way that I show up in my life, I feel like anyway matters. So find a purpose. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a career. It can be, like I said, the way that you contribute to society. It can even be a hobby, but just find something that you find meaning and purpose in, because that is truly going to build your sense of self-esteem. More than anything on the exterior, the inner stuff is truly what makes you feel good about yourself. My third habit for building your sense of self-esteem is that you need to learn to celebrate everything. Like everything, right? I want to tell you a story. So one of the biggest reasons why I think I have a pretty good internal sense of self-confidence and self-esteem, sometimes this has worked in the negative, and I created a video about this a couple of years ago. However, from a positive perspective, I definitely have an internal sense of self-confidence because I learned as a child to celebrate everything. My mom used to throw parties for me and my brother for the most mundane of things. When I got my pen license, which I know a lot of people don't understand what this is, but in Australia, you graduate from writing with a grey lead pencil to writing with a pen when your writing is neat enough. I never had neat writing, but at the end of grade 3, I got given my pen license because I had to have it to go into grade 4. And my mom threw a party for me. She literally threw a party when I got my pen license. But this has been the way that I've been my whole entire life, like always celebrating the little milestones, celebrating the little things. If you learn to celebrate all of the little things that happen in your life, what you actually do is you start to change the narrative that goes on internally. Humans have what's called a negativity bias, meaning that what we tend to do in many circumstances is that we focus on the negatives. We will ruminate on like the things that go wrong, and we will totally bypass the things that go right. And so what I'm saying is, if you try to change this narrative, if you try to change this behavior and focus on celebrating all of the little things like, hey, I had a really good productive day today, or hey, I had my first view on YouTube, or whatever it may be, my first sale, or even my first refund. Try to celebrate absolutely everything, whether they be positive or negative, because every positive thing happens, and that's great. It's great to celebrate the positive stuff, of course, but also celebrate the negative stuff. Like, celebrate the challenges that you are resilient through. Celebrate the lessons that you learn when something goes wrong. If you try to make it that you're celebrating more so rather than being negative towards yourself, you're just going to have such a higher sense of self-esteem, and you'll be more excited to try new things in the future. Habit number 4 is that you want to treat every single person the way that you crave to be treated. Now, I'm not saying that your inner sense of self-belief should ever come from outward validation. You shouldn't base how you feel about yourself on the way that other people treat you, because you can't control that. Humans have this kind of like desire for reciprocity. When I'm nice to people, you know, when I smile at random people in the street, when I compliment people, when I do nice things for other people, it is more likely that that will be reciprocated back to me. A smile received back, a compliment received back. And generally this just all round increases your sense of self-esteem. And again, I'm not saying you need to rely on the generosity of other people to make yourself feel good, but it makes you feel good when you're doing nice things for other people, and then it makes you feel even better when that niceness is returned. A lot of the times as well, people will see things in ourselves that we just can't see. You know, a lot of the times people will compliment us on things that we're not allowing ourselves to see because we are so incredibly self-critical. if you're putting out compliments out there, if you're doing nice things for people, being able to receive those back, and that's something you might need to work on as well. A lot of us have trouble with receiving niceness, but being able to receive that back will just make you feel better about yourself. Putting good things out there makes you feel good. Receiving things back over time will make you feel good. And so all around, this is a good exercise. Again, it's not about relying on the compliments of other people to feel good about yourself. You should be able to do that on your own. But I promise you, just having that kind of beautiful, reciprocated, positive energy as often as you possibly can is a way that is going to boost your self-esteem. And the fifth habit, and I know, you're going to be like, we hear this every single day. But the fifth and probably most important habit when it comes to boosting your sense of self-esteem is that you have to stop comparing yourself to other people. Here's the thing. I personally don't believe that all comparison is bad. I know most of the internet gurus in the personal development space will be like, never compare yourself to other people. I think a healthy level of comparison can actually sometimes boost us into action if it feels expansive. I'm not saying that you need to, go off the grid, cut off all social media in order to feel good about yourself. If there's someone online that kind of makes you feel a little bit envious and jealous, but that is a positive thing because it pushes you into action, then I think that's a good thing. However, a lot of us have a very bad sense of self-esteem because we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people in a negative way. We're saying, because this person has it, I can't have it. Or that person has success because they look like this, or they sound like this, or they have this. And we kind of get into this, I'll never be able to change, I'll never be able to have because that person has. And that kind of goes back to point one. Maybe someone has a successful business and you tell yourself the reason they have a successful business is because they look a certain way, right? And it's just not true. So what you really want to do is make sure that you are allowing yourself to maybe, get inspired by other people. But if that is turning into the I can't, I never wills, then you just got to stop following those people. Like anyone that triggers you into thinking you're not good enough, you have to stop following those people. Anyone that makes you feel less than or makes you feel like you can't achieve the things that you want in life, then you've got to stop following them. You've got to be in control of your consumption, and wherever you possibly can, stop comparing yourself to other people. Now, I made a video a couple of weeks ago on self-love. One of the biggest things that you can do to stop comparing yourself to other people is, of course, increase your own level of self-love, like self-love and self-confidence. But at the end of the day, like, to cut it off at the source, anyone that makes you feel like crap, anyone makes you feel like you can't have the things that you want in life, you literally just need to cut them out. You need to stop following them. Generally, it's going to be people we don't even know. So all you got to do is press unfollow, press mute, whatever you got to do on social media, right? So don't make this a big thing. Just only surround yourself with people who make you feel like you can do the things that you need to do in order to achieve the goals that you have. Okay? Promise me, you are going to stop comparing yourself to other people unless that comparison leads to action. That's all. All right, so there are just a few habits that you can use to start increasing your sense of self-esteem. Self-esteem is going to lead to self-confidence. Self-confidence leads to action. Action leads to you living your best life. As I said in the beginning, definitely let me know which of these you're going to work on or which of these resonated the most with you. And of course, if you have any pieces of advice for the rest of this community on how to increase your self-esteem, leave those below as well. As always, I have a free workbook for you in the description. It is my Killer Confidence Workbook, helping you to stop caring about what other people think so you can start taking action on your dreams. I so appreciate you, especially if you did stay to the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.